So on Sunday, November 15th, Dennis Schroder was traded from the OKC Thunder to the LA Lakers. That said, Dennis Schroder to the Lakers and Danny Green and pick 28 from the Lakers to the Thunder. So today, I'm just going to give you guys my reaction and thoughts on that trade. I wasn't able to make a video on Sunday about it, and I know Chris Paul also just got traded. I made a reaction video that's up on my main channel. Link to that in the description if you want to hear my thoughts on that trade. But yeah, I just thought I'd sit here and talk to you guys about the trade for a couple minutes and give my thoughts, as I wasn't able to do that yesterday. I also have a Dennis Schroder Lakers rebuild coming out on my main channel. I don't know if that's up already. It might be. It should be up probably around 4 o'clock today. And then also I did a rebuild of the Thunder side as well, but I didn't have Chris Paul trade done at that moment. But it was still a fun rebuild. And then, like I said, or I said it in my Chris Paul reaction video, I will have my Chris Paul Suns rebuild out tomorrow on the main channel. But yeah, back to the Dennis Schroder trade. The Lakers definitely needed a third kind of shot creator, ball handler, playmaker to add to that team. They won a championship without a third guy, because you could say their third best player this year in the playoffs were Rajon Rondo, KCP, Kyle Kuzma. So they definitely needed an upgrade as kind of that third guy. You obviously have AD and LeBron, and then everybody else was kind of a major step down in terms of shot creating, playmaking, somebody who trusts with the ball in their hands when the game's on the line, or just like in a high-profile series, or just in a game, or just in general, basically. So they went out, they got Dennis Schroder. Other names that were rumored were Derrick Rose, DeMar DeRozan. Dennis Schroder, they had to give up pick 28 in the draft, which at that pick, some people were targeting them drafting Tyrell Terry, Jameis Ramsey, Desmond Bane, Isaiah Joe, players like that in that realm. And Dennis Schroder is definitely better than those players. They had to give up Danny Green in this trade to make the money work. Now, in a perfect world for the Lakers, the Thunder buy out Danny Green and you're able to bring him back in, but I don't think that's going to happen. But talking for Dennis Schroder terms to the Lakers, I really like it. He's been efficient for the past year. Now, if you look at his numbers here, he was phenomenal this past season. I thought he should have won Sixth Man of the Year over Montrezl Harrell, but he did not win that award. But I thought he should have. He averaged 19 points, 4 assists, 3.5 rebounds on the best efficiency of his career. He shot 46, almost 47% from the field, which was a career high. 3-point percentage, he shot 38%, another career high. Free throw percentage, almost 84%. Not a career high, but pretty much there. So this was definitely his best season of his career on a good OKC team as well. It's not like this was a bad team and he was putting up empty numbers because somebody had a score on that team. No, this team won the playoff, or made it to the playoffs. They were a positive team this year, and they had a lot of good scorers. They had Shea, Chris Paul, Danilo Gallinari, and Dennis Schroder. And I'm a fan of his game. If you see what he was before last year, his first year at OKC, he was not very efficient. 34 from 3, 41 from the field, not that good. His last year in Atlanta, 43 from the field, 29 from 3. 34 from 3 the year prior, not bad. 45 from the field, not bad. I don't think you're going to get age 26 season Dennis Schroder, but even if you get somewhat close to that, I think it's well worth the first round pick and Danny Green. So I like the pickup for the Lakers, the fact that it was just a low cost offer and that they basically didn't give up a lot to get him. And I think they didn't have to give up Kuzma, which is huge because they're so far up, or they're not going to be so far up against the salary cap, but they're not going to really have a lot of money to deal with or be able to get creative with in the offseason. So them getting Dennis Schroder by giving up Danny Green, but also being able to keep Kyle Kuzma and his cheap contract, who will at least give you good rotational minutes, was a huge plus for them. Maybe if they wanted Derrick Rose, they were going to have to give up Kuzma, or same thing with DeMar DeRozan. Now, Rajon Rondo might be leaving in the offseason, which it's looking like that will be the case, so they kind of get their secondary ball handler after LeBron and Dennis Schroder. So that's kind of my point of view on the Lakers side of things. For the Thunder, now that we know that they traded Chris Paul, man, they're going to have 2 first-round picks in this draft. They're going to have plenty of first-round picks going forward. Looking at this tweet, basically, it's crazy that the Thunder own 2 first-round picks in this draft at 25 and 28. In 2021, they have their first, the Heat first, and a Houston pick swap. Who knows? That swap, I don't think it's going to be better enough to swap, but at least, they're knowing they're most likely getting another lottery pick next year. The Heat pick will probably be not as valuable in 2022. They have their first. They have the Suns first, possibly. And then the Clippers first, they do have, but we'll see if Kawhi and Paul George are back. If they're not, who knows? That could be a valuable pick. In 2023, they have their first. They have the Clippers pick swap. We'll see if that's even worth it then. And then the Heat first. I mean, the fact that they got Jimmy Butler, it's not looking like it's going to be as good of a pick then. But you never know. And then 2024, they're loaded. 2026, they're loaded. Man, they have 16 first-round picks and I think 4 swaps over the next 6 years, or it's like 12 new picks and then 4 swaps. Or it's something crazy like that. Sam Presti is literally a trade wizard. I tweeted it out. Job well done to him. Job well done to him. Job well done to that front office. And I think the Chris Paul trade was worth it for both teams. I think the Suns, he'll give you a better chance than Rubio and Oubre to make it into the playoffs next year. And for the Thunder, hey, you got a first-round pick. You got Kelly Oubre. You got Ty Jerome and Jalen McHugh and Ricky Rubio. For Chris Paul, somebody that's aging, one of the worst contracts in the league. You got an all-star season out of Chris Paul and you flipped them. They literally have such a good start to their rebuild. But the Lakers get Dennis Schroder. Dennis Schroder can help the Lakers try to repeat next year, and he'll be better than probably anybody else they had in mind to be their third guy in LA. And for the Thunder, they had another first-round pick. We'll see what they do with Danny Green if they buy him out. I don't know if they'll be able to trade him. Since it's an expiring deal, maybe a team will take him for a second-round pick. I don't know. Maybe if they could be a third team in a trade to take on salary, they can get a first-round pick. Like if Charlotte wants Russell Westbrook and they need to clear up some more money, maybe they'll take on Nicholas Batum for a first-round pick or something like that. I don't know, but if they could pull that off, I think they should definitely do that. So I give a A+ grade to Sam Presti and the Thunder here, and I give an A+ grade to Rob Pelinka and the Lakers staff. I think it worked out for both sides. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think James Harden also just said he's open to a trade to a contender. So maybe I'll react to that as well. And then I think I might have a Jets rebuild out later tonight also. So it's a busy week. It's a busy week with content. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.